morning, good afternoon, good evening, ladies, gentlemen, and those who are neither, wherever you are in the world. I'm Rambling Rusty Elm, and this is Rambling with Rusty. Last time on Rambling with Rusty, we made our way through the realm of the Daedric Prince Nocturnal to discover where the heart of Transparent Law was located, only to find out it was in Right Master Ikesis' chest the whole time. And in the process, Ikesis was killed by Nocturnal, and she has claimed the heart for herself. Today, we are back in Artaeum, and we are about to start dealing with the aftermath of that discovery and that loss. So, without further ado, let's get back into it.
This is ridiculous. I had no wish to see Ikesis harmed. He was my friend. He tried to save my daughter. If my wife wants a battle, though, tell her I'm ready. What are you talking about? Nocturnal, Methala, and Clavicus Vile are partners in this. That's why our three sects formed the Court of Bedlam. 3 Daedric princes working together. No, that can't be right. Why would she betray the Triad like that? Unless... You must let me leave Artaeum. I need to Look, you have to let me return to Somerset and warn my prince. Let me go, and I'll convince Methala to help you. You're going to need my prince if you really plan to take on Nocturne. Do we really need to go over this again? Methala and the Triad sought places of power, the Clockwork City, the Crystal Tower, anything they could use to change the rules of reality and remake the world. They wanted to make things better. I still only have your word that my prince has been betrayed, but I'll play along. Daedric princes aren't used to working together. If Nocturnal acquired I was under the assumption that the Triad needed to work together to take control of the Crystal Tower. That was always my understanding. To attempt this on her... The Crystal Tower has its own protections, though we know those have been weakened with the removal of the Heart of Transparent Law. Still, we tried to acquire the Resolute... I didn't say that. Nocturnal has the heart, and her power as a Daedric prince. It won't be easy, but she'll be able to enter the Crystal Tower. You, on the other hand, will need help. What Court of Bedlam? You dealt with Clavicus Vile's Earl, and I'm your prisoner. The court is in shambles, just like the Triad, if what you say is to be believed. But beware Nocturnal's champion. Her Earl won't fall as easily as Tilcollar or I.
Lathan is a shell of the man I fell in love with. We can't trust anything he says. No, we have to just another horrible bit of news in an otherwise horrible situation. All the more reason for us to get to the Crystal Tower. Last I heard, the Sapiocs were attempting to rapidly attune 2 new tower sentinels. Likely at the Crystal Tower Gatehouse, northeast of Lillandril. The ritual usually requires a full year and a day to complete, but the Sapiocs Oriandra, tell Darian to meet us at the Crystal Tower Gatehouse, and keep an eye on Lathan while we're gone.
Okay, so we are off to the Crystal Tower now. That's not the right one. No, that is the right one. Why? We're heading up there, that's right. Okay. Oh, let's talk to her.
Have you seen the...
Get our stuff repaired. Sell what we can that we don't need. Okay.
Good quality there.
And we have us a side quest.
Quiet!
Been a while.
Someone approaches. Is it Kandar? I can't sense him.
Disappearances are all the more reason for you to leave.
Sorry, stranger. My friend can't see too well anymore. She mistook you for someone we've been looking for. Things have been rough lately. More than a few of us have disappeared recently. Kanhar's group are just the latest. They set out to search for the missing and vanished themselves. We're giving those buried ruins a wide berth now. They've stood quiet for decades, but now, new yawning sinkholes, eerie sounds at night. I don't jump at shadows, but missing people? That's a warning I can heed. If you head down there, take a look around for... You're a kind soul. Be careful. We've lost a lot of kind souls of late. That pushy noble, Fidor, might know something about that. He arrived not long ago, claiming to own the place. Certainly acts the part.
For a place with such a terrible reputation, this estate certainly gets a lot of trespassers. You're not another layabout squatting on my land, are you? I didn't expect to find anyone living out here. I thought they could help me shed some light on the mysteries of this place, but it turns out they're just idle squatters. I guess you could call that a problem. This place barely exists outside of fables. My family kept no records of it, or our relatives here, other than our claim to the land. It took years of digging to locate these old ruins, and there's still... So those vagrants say. For all I know, they're just trying to frighten me off. Their missing friends could be looting as we speak. I'm not leaving until I've searched the ruins myself. I don't mind having some company in this endeavor. Most people are barely willing to speak of this place above a whisper, let alone offer any help. Let's try to find a way inside the sunken ruins, shall we? How's it looking there? Packed with mud and debris. How about through here? No, flooded. Maybe if I was a sea elf. This breach looks promising. Take a look. Can't say I care for the naturalized aesthetic. Keep your eyes out for anything that may have survived the elements. Some answers. What happened to my family here? This place is fascinating. And I suppose I'm curious about the rumors. As long as I don't get murdered by Something about that statue catch your interest? Even in such disrepair, I can imagine how opulent this manor must have been. My relatives must have been very influential. The whole town. That's incredible. My family has wealth and holdings, but not much in the way of titles. Why in the world would they show so little interest in... That's a sound theory. Simple, but sound. There has to be something here that could reveal the truth. Damn. These papers are practically mulch. Maybe something survived. Help me look. I wonder whose chambers these were. What was their life like before they abandoned it? And why? May I have a look? Merciful Sirabane! This sounds like the threat. A gruesome disease that decimated the population of Tamriel, Somerset included. It made the Nahatan flu seem like the sniffles. Everyone here could have been wiped out. Still, most people alive had family afflicted by the plague. Why hide it? No, it was a vile creation of the Slode, brewed in their kingdom of Thras. But it's possible it harbored the first outbreak on Somerset. That can't be the reason this place was buried. I'm finding more questions than answers. There has to be more. There has to be. Try the room across the hall. Down here! I found something! I thought I heard something down here, but the sound must have carried up from this tunnel. It looks formed by erosion. Maybe related to the sinkholes? Makes sense. The journal mentioned taking the afflicted to the family vaults. It would have been easy for the Corgrads to seal off their estate and leave the town to fend for itself. It's tragic that their compassion probably led to the murmurs and splashing. Is that a person? Hey, you there! Wait! This camp looks recent. I'll bet your missing persons just discovered that these ruins make decent shelter. I have a bad feeling about the fate of these people. I don't think that was one of your vagrant friends. Somehow I doubt they received a warmer reception than we did. But at least we know the curse of Corgrad has been greatly exaggerated. Whoever we saw just now. Agreed. Much as I... Voices!
They are Rillas, Abamel Shota.
I heard it again. Be careful. Gone.
Together!
Look, people! Best approach with caution.
Please approach. We know you are here. There we are. Much better, yes. Manners are easily forgotten when you're so far removed from society. Forgive the others, they are... Call me Arilas. I am caretaker of this place. We all are. We led our lives in quiet, contented seclusion until the crumbling... How long? How long indeed? I think there was a time when such things were measured. I can only to the saviors. It is because of their sacrifice that Corgrad lives on. We repay the lives they gave us by caring for the town in their stead. We're very protective of it, you understand. Now, might I ask what's brought you to our home? I see, I see. Our humble town would be treacherous to those who have not grown accustomed to its many twists and turns. You possess the Savior's compassion and determination. The last people from above we have...
Go on without me. I'm going to speak with Arillis about my ancestors. I'd like to spend some time with Arillis. If these people really... You heard, Arillis. It's dangerous deeper down. I'm no warrior, but take a look at them.
Yeah.
The saviors you mentioned, did they happen to be members of the family?
Oh, yes. The founders and protectors of this great realm. Does the surface still speak of their great sacrifice?
In a manner of speaking, I came here to learn more about this branch of my family.
Okay.
Why did you do that?
So back out we go.
Let go! Where are you taking me?
Yeah, now we gotta go chase and save the noble, who was too idiotic to realize how much danger he was in.
I do believe we're good at this.
Here goes this way.
You don't have to do this! Please!
Feet above. Need to find a way up. Here we go.
Is that a tomb? Don't put me in there! Please! No! No! Save us from these monsters! Get us out of here! They're killing us! Bloodletting, I think. These cave vermin poke and prod us whenever Arilus needs something to offer his saviors. To what end? I don't know. Maybe they're poor best. When Arilus isn't bleeding.
Find the keys below. That actually says, let's see, find the keys below.
On my honor!
10,000 venerations to you.
Bless you. I can walk, but you lead the way. We aren't free yet. We have to get out of here before those cave vermin come scurrying. Your friend's dead. If these saviors really are vampires, what chance do we have against them? I suppose if there's any...
Welcome to Corgrad, visitor. Such as it is. Forgive our lacking hospitality. Come, speak. I have not had civil company in some time. You arrive upon a momentous reunion of our filial blood. The day bestowing on him the Corgrad legacy. He is taking the first step upon the long road to restoring this house. It will be a demanding journey. His vitality. It will take all he has to offer to restore each of us. But if he is up to the task, he will reap a... On the contrary, he will taste immortality as we have. But only for scant centuries, not millennia. In a few generations, our bloodline will be renewed and possess the purity needed to... The embalming process has already begun. When the stone is finished, we will be restored, and he will be a savior. I regret that Fydur must suffer, but his pain will be a small fraction of the sacrifice required to save Corgrad from annihilation. We are Altmer, even in this desiccated state, cleansed of our poisoned humors to be free of the great sickness from the sea. Now that you see the cure, imagine the disease. Thras, I had always suspected as much. The sickness bore an intent as if designed to spread misery and cruelty. To hear the Slode were involved comes as no... It was ever present, ever penetrating. It seeped into every person, every creature, every drop of water, seeking to be quenched. The afflicted dragged themselves to corpulence with each passing day, until their bones cracked under their bulging... We spare them the ravages of the terrible sickness that spread through Corgrad. In exchange, they care for us in this invalid state. So we have endured. So Corgrad has... To be free of the disease is to be free of all humors. They offer us their tainted blood to sustain our fragile grip on life, and through sorcery, the sickness is purged. Together we flee its horrors. But because he is kin, most would not debase their bodies with the blood of men. But I am beyond such concerns. The blood Arilus offered us from the outsiders was free of disease, but unsustainable nonetheless. Fydur will be different. My vain attempt to stop the sickness from spreading beyond our borders. The people rebelled against their confinement and nearly broke the quarantine. I was forced to destroy the sea, to spare them and others from the gruesome death that was sure to come, or so I hoped. From that day forward, our only concern...
Soon this misery will finally be at an end. I thought this day would never come. Too long. There is little to occupy the time. The monotony. If not for Father's elixirs to quiet the mind, I think I have spent, I don't know how long, in absolute stagnation. I would welcome a walk through oblivion.
For what reason do you barge into our home, as if you have the right to trespass our lands as you please? You may believe our condition diminishes our station. The other trespassers, they intrude as you do without our sanction. Aurelius ends their vagrancy. It is not your right to question us. We are the law of this land, and we will be obeyed. Their crimes are...
God, that was... I could feel my skin tightening as the stone drew the moisture out of me like a wineskin. I don't suppose you have water. My tongue is... Right. I suppose I can keep up. I'll just lick the damp off the walls if I get...
Saviors, I've failed you. You've stolen our future, but I swear I'll rob them of theirs in kind.
Don't let him kill us!
Roll free! Stendarr was with us in that fight. This is not the end of our tale.
Oh, there she is. And there it is, finally. See, we need to head up here. There they are.
I can hardly believe it. You found Henrig and Mindaril, but where... No. You've done more than anyone ever has for us. If anyone's to blame, it's us. We survive out here by sticking together, but we let fear keep us from doing what needed to be done. I can see. Tortured. Why? Just for the fun of it? Gods, I'll heed curses more closely in the future. The locals were right to avoid this place.
If it weren't for you, I'd have wound up a husk like those monsters, withering in that pit for who knows how long. I owe you my life. Even now, I still feel for them. What a miserable fate. I wish it could have been different. That Corgrad might have been redeemed. I used up most of my... I'll stay with these people a while longer, if they'll have me. Best to stick together, and perhaps my standing will shield them from the intolerance my kind have for Neberah. I don't know. Too often my kin seem content to forget ugliness exists in our society. If nothing else, someone will want to know about cave people harboring the Thracian plague. I hope someone aside from Sirabane knows what to make of that. My name may be all the means I can lend them. I doubt my parents will offer any support. Who knows if I'll even be welcome home when I return. I might be as much a vagabond as they when all is said and done. I'll do what I can, though.
Alright, folks, there is a story of Corgrad, a lost city, and home to the Thracian plague. Let's see, what have we here? And this will bring us to the end of today's episode. When we come back, we'll break away from this and go grab the daily delve for the Undaunted, and maybe do a daily delve over in High Isle to help improve Isabel's rapport. Until then, I'm Rambling Rusty Elm. Have a good night, and don't forget to stop and smell the roses.